Have you ever heard of the gold popular? Well, possibilities are if you don't live underneath a rock, you in all likelihood have. Now, for all and sundry who does now not understand what the gold standard is, it basically simply means that your dollar is sponsored with the aid of gold so that it simply has some kind of price. And within the United States of America, the gold well-known was once something that honestly existed. But because then we had been taken off of the gold well-known and considering the fact that then we have visible a ton of inflation. Now, you might be wondering, what does any of this ought to do with XRP? And the fast answer is a whole lot. And I'm going to give an explanation for, in modern day video, how a large reform suggestion could be coming through from the government, which could assist see trillions of bucks flood onto the XRP, carry again the gold widespread. This is a killer video you are not going to want to leave out. Smash that like button so each person sees it, and let's get into the video. And so to start, I want to describe to all of you men what Masara is. Because that is the idea that we're given us beginning to speak approximately going returned at the gold trendy, given that being removed from it somewhere back within the 1950s. Somewhere returned there. A long time in the past. Nonetheless, Harvey Francis Bernard, he changed into an engineering consultant with a PhD in systems theory, created this thought in the late 80s and early 90s. Now, what Bernard did is he printed 1,000 copies of this proposal titled Draining the Swamp. Now, this tagline might sound type of familiar. That is something that Donald Trump has said a couple of times during his election system. And nicely, that is something that we're going to talk about in more detail due to the fact of direction. He became relating to this, and he had some proposals that he placed through that still assist this complete Nasara deal. Now, this guy, he dispatched copies to individuals of Congress believing it would pass quickly on its merits based totally on a principle that debt is the #1 economic issue inhibiting the growth of the economic system, and compound hobby is the primary ethical evil and purpose for debt. Bernard made numerous different attempts at some stage in the 1990s to attract political interest to the problems he noticed inside the US financial system, and his counseled monetary recovery proposal based on the basis reasons he decided. After Bernard's efforts to benefit political support did not be successful, he determined in 2000 to release his suggestion to the general public domain and post it on the net. Now, the motive why Bernard was so sure that this would get mass political approval is because, in idea, the whole thing that he wrote became clearly going to be 100% beneficial for the common running elegance American. But what he didn't aspect in is what politicians want. And the factor with politicians is that they love printing cash. They love printing money as it permits them to get access to a huge amount of capital extraordinarily fast at the fee of the working magnificence American. And maximum human beings, they do not even understand how quantitative easing or the cash printing cross and in reality influences their pockets. It's what is called the hidden tax, the tax that nobody knows approximately, because frankly, you do not certainly see it right away. The money printer goes on, the price of your goods is going up because the price of your money is going down, and the authorities is capable of sending billions of greenbacks foreign places to fund a foreign conflict which they're profiteering off of. I suggest standard on the floor, it's simply hard to understand, and it is extraordinarily complex. And it is why maximum human beings simply sort of turn a blind eye in the direction of it, because frankly it's too much for them to wrap their brains around, which I recognize, however, frankly speaking, it's not in everybody's satisfactory interest to continue on this complete idea. There's a purpose why this is not talked about inside the government-funded school systems. It is due to the fact they don't need you to discover. And properly, these days, we are going to be diving a little bit deeper into how XRP and this gold standard working collectively will clear up genuinely all of our financial troubles and nevertheless allow us to have a developing financial system, which I recognize is going to be the #1 complaint from any money printer believers. But before we get into that, we need to understand Trump, because if he receives elected, he wishes us to go return to the gold standard. This is something that he has really said in more than one extraordinary interviews. In truth, he changed into quoted as announcing we used to have a totally very solid US map. As it become based on a gold fashionable, and in line with Politico's Danny Vinnick, Trump has surrounded himself with a number of advisors who hold severe, even fringe thoughts approximately monetary coverage. At least 6 have spoken favorably about the gold, well-known Shelton and Allison cited above aren't by myself. Others consist of Ben Carson and David Malpass. The last 2, Rebecca and Robert Mercer, sooner or later distanced themselves from Trump, but had a sturdy have an effect on earlier than that. So people around Trump are without a doubt talking about this. Trump himself has said on more than one unique activities that he does need to head back on a gold preferred. Now it will be a Simon, I want to get that clean, because there is lots of debt that exists in the contemporary economic system, but it's far certainly feasible, and what we're already seeing is other nations going toward that gold widespread. We have Russia and China buying so much gold right now, and they are storing it away, and that is not coincidental. They are putting in an economic alliance, which 100% is going to have that gold well known yet again, due to the fact they need something that backs their currencies as much as ensure that everybody is at the equal level playing area. And with that being said, the USA of America genuinely will have to compete with them in order to preserve a huge amount of gold reserves if anybody else inside the global decides to try this. They cannot simply be left inside the dirt. So the opportunity of gold turning into a more and more massive part of the financial battles that show up throughout the globe is, I assume, more than a 90% risk. And Trump, we recognize, is seasoned gold and pro-gold requirements. So the fact of this all occurring, I suppose, is extremely, extraordinarily excessive. But what does any of this need to do with XRP? And well, this is wherein things get extremely exciting. Well, with the arena of cryptocurrency, gold-subsidized stablecoins exist already. In fact, one of them is already on or coming to the XRP ledger. This is Belled Gold. And we will see on the midpoint of 2024, it did appear, they did make this assertion in June. Now, the exact timeline on exactly while this is going to be traded continues to be understood. But everything is saying Q4 of 2024 that we're going to have tokenized gold on the XRP ledger. And that is how the majority of human beings are going to be trading gold. You need to have a tokenized version of the asset that is easily liquid and tradable in order for it to be appealable on a worldwide scale. That's precisely why BRICS, that Chinese and Russia and South African alliance I changed into telling you guys about just a little bit in advance, is accumulating a lot of gold. They need to have quite a few leverage and, of course, be the holders of this gold. This is tokenized and traded, and they may be going to be doing that with their gold against stablecoin 1,000%, as it must be subsidized by way of something, right? And I think many exceptional international locations are going to have their own gold lower-backed stablecoins because they're going to need to enter into this crucial change war on real international asset tokenization. And average, I assume a whole lot of this is going to be occurring on the XRP ledger. When you look at their partnerships with governments, whilst you observe their partnerships with institutions, imperative banks, all of them, yeah, they're organizing them, and they're the simplest crypto organization. This is continually establishing increasingly each unmarried day. So with that in thoughts, I assume it's genuinely a silly concept now not to be shopping for and trading XRP proper now. And there is no better area to do that, men, than on Margex, the use of my link. In truth, proper now, there is a wonderful opportunity to short both Bitcoin and Ethereum. So if you men want to sign on to Margex, the use of my link down beneath, and also you trade using my link, you are going to actually get the eligibility to, one, get $100 in depositing bonuses right away only for the usage of my link. However, additionally, you are going to be entered into my buying and selling opposition. That is awarding all of my traders with XRP. So in case you men want to earn XRP and get unfastened money, after which also make loads of cash on those trades, like shorting Bitcoin, Ethereum, or simply going long XRP and conserving that for the long time, make certain you operate my Margex link. And in case you guys do no longer recognize the way to exchange, just be a part of Into My Discord community, where we've got an entire exceptional array of investors in there, some of which can be making tens of thousands of dollars every unmarried month. I imply many of those who replica trade me make loads too, but with that being said, men, yeah, I need to know your mind. Are you excited about the tokenization of gold, the gold fashionable, the whole thing we mentioned in modern day video? If you are, ruin that like button and permit me recognize your thoughts down below.